Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's all down to Bawal. After all, this entire election has been only about Bawal over bribes and now burqas even before the first ballot is cast in Maharashtra. Tomorrow, Maharashtra and the second phase of Jharkhand will go into vote along with 9 seats of Uttar Pradesh. Ahead of that, let's tell you about the 3 tempests, storms that have rained and rattled the election eve, and how the poll narrative has boiled down to just note jihad versus vote jihad, a simple equation to remember. The first storm was over alleged note jihad. In these dramatic visuals from Virar in Maharashtra, you can see BJP National General Secretary Vinod Tawde allegedly as accused by the opposition caught red-handed with cash in a hotel. Members of the Bahujan Vikas Aghadi stormed the 5-star hotel, ghirawed him and flung cash at Tawde's table. They claimed that Tawde had held a meeting with local BJP leaders in a room and distributed rupees 5 crores of cash. They even claimed that 2 payout diaries were recovered with a black bag, although the hotel allegedly blacked out CCTV cameras. You can see the wads of cash which were later seized by the Election Commission, and 3 FIRs have now been filed by the police over the allegations of violation of the Model Code of Conduct. Watch how the Bahujan Vikas Aghadi leaders ghirawed Tawde and accused him of cash for votes. Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray was quick to label this as note jihad by the BJP, while Rahul Gandhi asked Modi ji, whose safe did these 5 crore rupees come from? Who looted the Janta and sent you the money in tempos? Vinod Tawde and his party, however, called this a conspiracy to frame him. And then came the twist in the tale. The Bahujan Vikas Aghadi claimed that someone from the BJP tipped them off about Tawde carrying money. So, was there a conspiracy within against Tawde, and who plotted it? Watch this war of versions.
सामने वाला जो पार्टी हमारे मित्र पक्ष है, इतना ठाकुर जी है या सिटी है, उनके कार्यक्रमों को लगा के हम पैसे बांट रहे हैं। तो चुनाव आयोग उसकी इंक्वायरी करे, पुलिस इंक्वायरी करे, सीसीटीवी फुटेज ले ले, तो उसमें वास्तव जो है
मुझे बीजेपी के एक शीर्ष नेता ने कहा था कि इस मतदार संघ में जो 12 मतदार संघ में 5 करोड़ बांटने के लिए आ रहे हैं। अभी ये जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है वो कुछ सामान्य महिला वो को बुला के उनके थ्रू एरिया में पैसा पहुंचाने का।
विनोद तावड़े जी को तो पीएचडी मिलनी चाहिए। पिछले कुछ दिनों में उनकी तारीफ हो रही है कि कहीं कुछ राज्यों में उन्होंने सरकार गिराई, कुछ राज्यों में उन्होंने बीजेपी की सरकार बनाई, तो उसका क्या राज है, वो बात आज सामने आई है। और ये बीजेपी का नोट जिहाद है।
ये बीजेपी का कोई नया काम नहीं है। बीजेपी ये बहुत पुराना काम कर रही है, पैसा बांटना, डराना, धमकाना, लालच देना। ये तो अच्छा है शराब वाली बोतलें नहीं पकड़ी गई। ये बीजेपी वाले वो काम भी करते हैं, शराब भी बंटवाते हैं।
While it was raining cash in Maharashtra, Jharkhand was no better. These videos of bundles of notes inside cars' wheels were posted by BJP MP Nishikant Dubey. He claimed that this money belonged to the anti-BJP parties which are bribing voters. Meanwhile, in the other camp, the second storm was sparked off by this video posted by Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav, and it shows a large force carrying out a flag march in Sisamau in Kanpur. Akhilesh Yadav fear-mongered, saying that this is not Manipur. These are visuals from Uttar Pradesh. Due to the failure of the government, fear has now gripped the public because of the sirens. He added that democracy runs on people's power and not party power. Listen into those sirens. Who were these sirens disturbing? Well, are you scared of these siren sounds? Is anybody who's not doing anything wrong scared of siren sound? But big issue for Akhilesh Yadav. And not just this, the third storm was also by the Samajwadi Party's UP chief, Shyam Lal Pal, who penned a letter to the Election Commission urging that burqa-clad women should not be checked at all during voting tomorrow. They claimed that the right to check voters lies with the polling officer, not the police. The letter went on to say that during the 24 Lok Sabha elections, police misused their power and position and asked Muslim women to remove their veils and burqas. Many of them left the polling stations without casting their votes. Well, watch how the high-stakes battle ahead of polling led to now this war of words.
उनके साथ किसी प्रकार का उत्पीड़न नहीं होना चाहिए। अपने वोट का वो इस्तेमाल करें। जो 12 आईडी चुनाव आयोग ने दी हैं, उनमें सभी आईडी में किसी भी उसमें से वोट डालने का अधिकार है, वो उनको मतदाताओं को मिलना चाहिए।
धर्म के नाम पर वोट जिहाद ना करें। बुर्का पहन करके, बुर्का खुलवा करके देखें। अगर बुर्का खोलने का कोई विरोध करे तो उसका डट के विरोध करे, क्योंकि कानूनन ये सही है कि बुर्का उठा करके उनका चेहरा देखें।
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Motorola legitimate question that we are asking on the Newshour tonight, is it vote jihad versus note jihad in elections? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, GVL Narasimha Rao, national spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, political scientist. Today, maybe you can be the forensic examiner also, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, to find out where those notes were from and where did they go. Varun Singh, senior journalist, joins us live on the show. Also joining me tonight, Faizan Kidwai, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Anand Dubeji, national spokesperson of the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray group. But my first question goes to my friend Tehseen Poonawala, Congress supporter more than the Congress itself, political analyst. Tehseen Poonawala, my question to you is, who's really looking for new excuses? Is it the India Alliance which is writing letters on burqas and sirens to the Election Commission? Or is it the BJP? Is it literally note jihad versus vote jihad that's happening tomorrow? Is it such a high-stake election?
Namaskar, Navika ji. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good evening to you, to all my fellow panelists and to all your viewers. Navika ji, the Bhrasht Janta Party, which used to say batege to katege, has to now retort to batege to jeetege in Maharashtra. That is what this party has come down to. The party of Bangaru Lakshman, who was caught on candid camera taking money, is today distributing money. Navika ji, two questions for the honorable MP on this show. Just two questions. Any one of our panelists or any of your viewers who are caught with more than 50,000 rupees, 50,001 rupee, the Election Commission will not just register an FIR, would have the person arrested. Why is Vinod Tawde ji not yet arrested? Point number one, when 9 lakh rupees, and Vinod Tawde ji was not there for sightseeing. Number two, when election code of conduct, when tomorrow is the polls, it was the mandate of the Election Commission, as per the regulations and the rules, that every single political leader leave the constituency except in the constituency where they're supposed to be vote. What right did Vinod Tawde ji have to go there to check the preparations of the election or to talk to his workers? This is absolutely not allowed and cannot be done. The fact of the matter was that Vinod Tawde ji has no explanation as to why he was there. He may make anything right now. He was there illegally, which is the FIR registered against him. There was money which is not allowed. and he cannot claim that the money around him he has no responsibility for that. For your viewers, if you're going in a cab, or if a big leader is going in a cab, and there's more than 50,000 rupees in the cab, can the leader say it's not my money? How can Vinod Tawde ji say this is not his money? The fact is BJP only polarized this election on Hindu-Muslim because they wanted to do batenge to katege, but they are now retorting to batoge to jeetege because they have nothing to do. They are spending your money to try and corrupt the elections in Maharashtra.
Well, let me get in GVL Narasimha Rao to respond to you. GVL Narasimha Rao, the ball in your court, or should we say the cash on your table? Please explain. What was this cash for? Where did it come from and where did it go?
Navika, I think having failed to enhance their prospects in the election, out of desperation, this is a staged act by the opposition, by the Mahavikas Aghadi. This is a stunt to only grab public attention on a national scale and to swing voter mood in Maharashtra, and this is not going to help. Where is 5 crores? You have simply, see, a party like the Congress, which has bought MPs, they tried to buy MPs of BJP and many other parties who displayed weights of cash. This was done to save Manmohan Singh government. A shameless Congress wanted to buy India's democratic highest institution. And this is not the BJP culture. Vote buying is certainly the speciality of the Congress party and their cronies. But today this is an attempt to somehow raise their prospects on the eve of elections and to confuse the voters. But let me assure them, this is not going to help. We have seen similar stunts being played by you and Congress and their friends in Delhi and many other polls, and that has never helped. This is, I think, this is a staged act. Where is that money you're talking about? And Mr. Tawde is a Maharashtrian leader. He is a leader from Maharashtra, actively involved in the election preparations and election management for Maharashtra. Local people, local leaders are allowed to stay within the states, and there is no bar on meeting party workers inside any room or inside any place of stay. There is no such bar. You cannot have preparatory meetings. This meeting was about how to ensure that MBA does not really cheat people, does not steal elections. Okay. What kind of questions can be raised in case there are malpractices being done?
Respond, Tehseen. What's wrong with him being present there?
So the Honorable MP said two things, mota. He said this is an act staged by us, the opposition, okay. So we forced Vinod Tawde ji to go in that hotel. We forced him to go. We forced people to come with 9 lakh rupees. And Vinod Tawde ji is so innocent.
5 crore, no? The last allegation was 5 crore.
I am going by what the EC documents is. Forget everything else. 50,001 you should be in there.
Honorable MP, where is 5
Sir, please give me 1 minute. Sir, 1 minute. Sir, I am saying if it was 50,001 rupees, it is wrong. That's why the FIR is there. Did we ask him to go there? And if it is right to go there, why the Election Commission charging him with an FIR for being there? Because except for the constituency in which you are allowed to vote, senior leaders are not allowed to go and conduct meetings like that. That is where campaigning comes to an end. That is the meaning of the campaigning come to an end. That is the People's Representation Act of 1951. How can a senior leader go there? Is it tomorrow Amit Shah ji will go, Rahul Gandhi ji will go? Is it acceptable? It's not acceptable. I made my notes.
People wearing designer watches are talking. People wearing designer watches are talking about not carrying, cash above 50,000 rupees.
But I don't. I live on online payments. Okay. Only online payments.
Okay. Anand.
Yeah, good evening, Navika. First of all, great to see you up and roaring in the studio. So welcome back. And good evening to my fellow panelists, especially to Tehseen, who, as you said, is wearing Patek Philippe's 2.7 crore watches, but talking about even 1 rupee bribe give and take is wrong.
I have an objection to this, Anand. 1 second, I'm sorry. Anand, sorry, 1 second. Anand keeps saying this. The problem is ED is going to come. The problem is not ED will come. I'll have to join BJP. That is the problem.
No, look, enough Poonawallas have joined the BJP, so you have to wait for another decade to do that. No, but look, I want to be serious out here. By all means, the EC did well to register an FIR, and this gentleman should be investigated. Of course he should be. But for Tehseen to point fingers is, my God, I mean, if hypocrisy was wearing shoes, it would have run around the earth 3-4 times. This is the same Congress party where DK Shivkumar, who is now the, if I'm not mistaken, at least for some foreseeable future, the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, was on top of a bus throwing money, wads of currency. Then Tehseen was absolutely quiet. This is the same Congress party which in 2019 Imran Masood, you would remember, he was caught, literally caught, bribing voters with money. And this is the same Congress party that said electoral bonds, anonymous donation was wrong. At the same time, it accepted 1,500 crores in electoral bonds donation. And this is the same Congress party defended by Tehseen, who wears a 2.7 crore watch. Enough said.
Well, let me get in Anand Dubey ji. Anand Dubey ji, अब ये नोट जिहाद कहां से आ गया? Are we looking for rhymes in this election, slogans in the elections till the last day कि उन्होंने वोट जिहाद का आरोप लगाया तो आपको नोट जिहाद का आरोप लगाना था? मैं पूछना चाहती हूं, जनता के मुद्दे कहां हैं? और मैंने क्यों नहीं सुना किसी को ये कहते हुए कि भाई बुर्के वालों को चेक नहीं होना चाहिए? इस पे तो आपने कुछ नहीं कहा। मैं पूछना चाहती हूं कि क्या किसी भी स्टेट में या किसी भी एरिया में जहां इलेक्शंस हो रहे हैं, कानून अपना काम करेगा कि नहीं, इलेक्शन कमीशन अपना काम करेगा कि नहीं? लेकिन आप चाहते हैं कि कुछ महिलाओं के बुर्के नहीं उठाने चाहिए, तो फिर वोटर आईडी और फोटो आईडी का तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं रह गया। और हर बूथ पे महिलाएं अफसर रहती हैं, पर इस पर आप कुछ नहीं कहेंगे। हाँ, नोट जिहाद का मुद्दा आपने उठाया है, संगीन मुद्दा है। ये लास्ट मिनट में कौन बहाने तलाश रहा है?
Navika ji, namaste. Today's incident not directly related to Mahavikas Aghadi. महाविकास आघाड़ी का आज के मुंबई वाले, महाराष्ट्र वाले इंसिडेंट से कोई डायरेक्ट सरोकार नहीं है। एक बहुजन विकास आघाड़ी के नेता हैं, विधायक हैं हितेंद्र ठाकुर जी, उन्होंने आरोप लगाया कि बीजेपी के एक बड़े नेता ने मुझे कहा है कि विनोद तावड़े नाम के एक बड़े नेता आपके विरार में पैसे बांट रहे हैं, हो सके तो आप जाके उनको पकड़ लीजिए। वो वहां गए, वहां पर एक डायरी मिली, 9,93,000 रुपए मिले, उन्होंने टीवी में दिखाया, प्रेस किया, फिर विनोद तावड़े जी को लेकर चले गए। विनोद तावड़े जी ने उनको करीब 25 बार फोन किया, ऐसा भी उन्होंने कहा। तो आज का जो वोट जिहाद वाला और नोट जिहाद वाला विषय है, उसमें महाविकास आघाड़ी कई दूर दूर तक नहीं है। हम भी आपकी तरह एक दर्शक हैं, आप जैसे दिखा रहे हैं हम भी देख रहे हैं। विपक्ष के नेता हैं, लोग प्रतिक्रिया मांगते हैं, तो हम कहते हैं कि महाराष्ट्र की राजनीति इतनी गंदी मत कीजिए, इतना भ्रष्टाचार का पैसा मत लुटाइए। अगर लोगों को दे सकते हैं तो रोजगार दीजिए, विकास का दीजिए। अब आता हूं आपके उत्तर प्रदेश वाले मामले पर। देखिए, हमारा देश है ना, नविका जी और आनंद दुबे के कहने से नहीं चलता। यह देश चलता है डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अंबेडकर जी के संविधान से। अगर किसी नेता ने यह कह दिया कि किसी बुर्का वाली महिला की चेकिंग नहीं होगी, तो इसका यह मतलब नहीं कि उसकी चेकिंग नहीं होगी। चेकिंग होगी भाई, जो पुलिस का काम है पुलिस करेगी। आपके फोटो आईडी से आपके मुंह का मिलाप कराएगी, आप वही व्यक्ति हैं कि नहीं, आपका नाम, आपका पूरा नाम, आपका सरनेम, सब कुछ देखा जाता है, एक प्रक्रिया है। तो ये बयानबाजी से कि भाई इनकी चेकिंग नहीं होगी, उनकी होगी, इस विवाद में मत फंसिए। ये सोचिए कि कल का मतदान अच्छे से हो जाए, ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग अपने घरों से निकलकर मतदान करें। आज की जो रात बची है उसमें पैसे की बरसात न हो। अभी अभी खबर आ रही है कि वसई विरार में ही एकनाथ शिंदे की कथित शिवसेना का एक नेता पैसे बांटते हुए पकड़ा गया है, उसकी पिटाई हो गई है। नासिक से इगतपुरी से खबर आ रही है कि वहां पैसा बांटते हुए कुछ लोग पकड़े गए हैं, उनको धर दबोचा गया है। महाराष्ट्र के अलग अलग कोनों से खबरें आ रही हैं। तो आज की जो रात है ना, ये भाजपाइयों से, एकनाथ शिंदे की शिवसेना से, राष्ट्रवादी से जनता को सावधान रहना है। कहीं शराब बांटी जा रही है, कहीं पर कैश बांटा जा रहा है। तो अगर ये नोट जिहाद नहीं नविका जी, तो ये क्या है? अगर देवेंद्र जी
आप शेरो शायरी की मूड में हैं, नोट जिहाद, वोट जिहाद, तो मैं कह दूं ये आज की रात कत्ल की रात कही जाती है, कत्ल की रात कही जाती है। बट जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव, the big charge being made by Anand Dubey ji, he says a BJP neta tipped off Mr. Thakur of the BVA and then they went and checked. ये इंटरनल सैबोटाज है, इंटरनल कॉन्स्पिरेसी है या एक्सटर्नल है? पीपल वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम यू।
No, Navika, I think this is another desperate stunt by the opposition, BVA or MVA, Maharavikas Agadi. They are trying to somehow try and create divisions within the BJP supporters or confuse BJP voters by making such false allegations. I don't know, even Sanjay Raut suddenly made a statement like this. If there are any differences or divisions that is within Agadi, the BJP is a united force. I think there's this entire, if somebody is alleging that we have been tipped off by somebody, let them reveal the name. I think making such very absurd and vague allegations is only to create confusion. What stops the BVA candidate, MLA candidate, Mr. Thakur, if he has received a tip-off, let him come out and say it openly, or let him apologize for making such a fake statement, by manufacturing such a statement and trying to create confusion. And tomorrow we may actually demand action against him from the Election Commission, because this is a clear attempt. In the silence period, the BVA has actually gone and attacked the BJP leaders. The BJP meeting, they not only disturbed an indoor election preparation meeting, but they also confused voters and created a complete anarchy. So this is a charge that must be leveled against the BVA candidate and their supporters. You cannot disturb an election on the eve of polling day. This is
waiting for you to complain to the Election Commission on that. But Varun Singh, let me get in Varun Singh, senior journalist. And Varun Singh, what do you make of this allegation versus counter allegation? What's happening in Maharashtra? Who's got the edge and who's looking more nervous today?
See, to be very honest, the allegations that are coming in, as Mr. Dubey was saying, I have many people within the South Mumbai region who were saying that mutton party is happening, money is being distributed in the slums. So these allegations are happening from both the sides. Even for there's certain things being said in Western Maharashtra where money is being distributed by, allegedly, by many candidates from the MVA or from the Mahayuti. So these allegations do happen, and in the scenario of Vinod Tawde, it is pretty clear. The BVA actually, over here in the Lok Sabha election, the constituency where this was happening, it's called Nala Sopara constituency, where if you see, the Bharatiya Janata Party candidate during the Lok Sabha alone polled 1,36,000 votes, whereas the BVA candidate was on 70,000, and similarly 70,000 was polled by the Shiv-Sena UBT candidate. So over there, if you see, the BJP has an edge, and local journalists over here, we are clear about it. Even if they have to distribute money, it is no hidden thing that people do distribute, politicians do distribute the money when elections are happening a day before, but they wouldn't send someone like Vinod Tawde to do it. That itself is apne aap mein ek haasaspad ghatna kehte hain. Secondly, I was also going through the People's Representative Act, and I couldn't find the section that Tehseen is trying to say aloud and clear that anyone who's not from that constituency is not allowed to be there in that particular region. Right now, I'm sitting in South Mumbai. I hail from Kalyan constituency, Kalyan West. Can I not be there? No, forget. So what defines a leader? Tehseen. But what defines a political leader? He is a citizen of the country. He's a citizen of the country. Yes. He is. I couldn't find that section. If you can enlighten us with that section.
Just read the FIR.
No, forget that. You're talking about people. Wrong. What is illegally being there? See,
he's not supposed to be there conducting any political activity. See, Varun, I'll just explain. I apologize to interrupt. Or you want to finish?
Tell me the section from the people.
I'll read the FIR, but he's not supposed to be there.
FIR.
What does the FIR say?
Excellent.
I'll read the FIR to you.
Let me complete. There are counter FIRs that have taken place in the Tulunj police station. There are counter FIRs that have been registered by the BJP as well as the BVA. And over here, what is more funny, that after making such serious allegations, both Vinod Tawde as well as the BVA leader have left in the same car, had lunch over there and then left. So, to be honest, as a voter, as a citizen of this country, I find this very funny that both the parties are trying to accuse each other of corruption or vote jihad. I don't know. I feel pity for the Muslim community that even their biggest masiha right now, Shiv Sena Uddhav Wala Sahab Thackeray party, is using the word jihad, which is so sacred for them, so lightly for something that is, that is being related to corruption. Vote note jihad. Actually, are they trying to say that jihad and corruption go together? This is what I'm.
Varun, because you've challenged me on national television, Navika, thank you.
Respond.
What is the model code of conduct provision that the opposition parties have referred to, specifically in case of Vinod Tawde ji? This is from your organization, organization Indian Express. The Election Commission of India issues a SOP for the 72 hours before an election. It states, please hear this, Varun, the operative part. During the course of a campaigning in an election to the legislative assemblies, the political party mobilizes the supporters, including from outside the constituency poll, in order to bolster their campaign. In view of the fact that after the closure of the campaign period, no campaign or leader can be there or campaign can take place within the constituency, presence of any functionary, party workers, procession functionaries, leaders, campaign functionaries, etc. have been brought from outside the constituencies and who are not voters of his or constituency should not continue to remain present, conduct meetings or have any press conferences, as their continued presence after campaign may undermine the atmosphere for a free and fair poll. It is under this that SOP that an FIR has been registered. May I please fact check you? Now, Varun, please answer one question. Now, Varun, please answer one question with respect. Hasn't the BVA candidate Suresh Padwi from the next constituency joined the BJP and given support to Vinod Medeji? He has. So, is it a coincidence that in one constituency next door is Vinod Tawde ji, immediately the next constituency, the BVA candidate this evening withdraws, tomorrow's the election, and supports the BJP? Come on, Varun. Both of us are not...
So did the money actually go to that candidate, or was it distributed to these people? It's not making sense. Varun, your last counter to Tehseen?
I don't know. Tehseen read about campaigning and holding press conferences. There is no bar. If that has, he's still not telling me which section of the People Representative Act 1951 bars any leader from the state, within the state, to hold an indoor meeting. It doesn't.
Sure, then in the court, the Election Commission has filed an FIR against Tawde and 2 FIRs including against the BJP workers. The FIR has been filed under sections of the Representation of People Act 1951 and the BNS. Now this, I'll give you the sections. They have filed specifically for him being there. And this is a violation of the SOPs of the model code.
1 minute. May I read, and Tehseen, may I also do some research, because I have a larger team. Section 126 in the Representation of People Act 1951 says, prohibition of public meetings during the period of 48 hours ending with the hour fixed for conclusion of poll. So it is prohibition after that. In those 48 hours, no person shall convene, hold, attend, join or address any public meeting or procession, display to public any election matter by means of cinematograph, television or other similar apparatus, or propagate any election matter to the public by holding and arranging any musical concert or theatrical performance. Sitting in a hotel and doing a meeting certainly is not...
of the SOP.
So the act, you mentioned an act, I am reading out the act.
Under the act is the SOP, and these FIRs
you can't hold public meetings and
then the Election Commission is wrong in...
1 minute. You can't hold public meetings, but meetings with your own karyakartas, I don't see them as bad.
With 9 lakh rupees.
9 lakh rupees is the matter under investigation.
And him being there is the FIR.
Well, but let me get it.
Let me tell you a small thing. There was an FIR that was registered in a police station about an alleged mobile phone being used within Northwest Mumbai constituency for tampering the EVM. Newspapers had printed that, Tehseen. So please don't go...
No, we are talking about... let's not confuse the matter. Let's not confuse the matter. Let's come back to the central point of the debate. The point of the debate is who is getting nervous on the eve of polling. And GVL, I'm coming to you, but let me first get in Faizan Kidwai. Faizan Kidwai, who's scared of sirens?
On the previous point.
Yes, I'll come back to you. But Faizan Kidwai, who's scared of sirens? Why do you have a problem with women in burqas being checked? Isn't this also standard operating procedures? And why is there no comment on notes that are found in Jharkhand? Why is there worry only about cash that is found in Maharashtra? Can the opposition really explain these issues?
Good evening, Navika. First of all, you have asked me a lot of questions, so kindly give me some time to respond to all the points you have raised. First of all, nobody has a problem with sirens. What Bharatiya Janata Party is doing, it is intimidating the voters. Just like it did in Rampur, it is doing the same thing in Kateri. Voters are being pressurized by red cards. This violates the right to vote, which the great constitution of this country has granted to us under Article 326.
Red cards are issued to history cheaters. You want unlawful activities to take place?
Navika, you won't interject a Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, right? But you will definitely interject somebody from an opposition party. If you have taken it upon themselves that you want to speak on behalf of BJP, then why do you call them? Let them rest. You and I can debate. That's perfectly all right. I have no issues with that.
Red cards are standard operating procedures as well. The point on which you were commenting.
My point. GVL will counter me. Kindly let me complete my point.
All right.
GVL will counter me. Okay? And see, you broke the thread of thought now. So, Navika, as I was saying, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party which is using its money power, muscle power to intimidate the voters. And this is very unconstitutional. Even the ADR and other election monitoring bodies have come out with reports which say that there have been several instances where voters have been intimidated, especially in BJP-ruled states. So it's the job of Samajwadi Party to come out and speak the truth and see to it that in free and fair elections happen. Actually, this is their job for Election Commission, but unfortunately, Election Commission is not doing what it is supposed to do. As Akhilesh rightly pointed out, democracy runs on people power, not party power. यहाँ पे जनबल नहीं, जनता का बल चलेगा. तो इस हिसाब से काम होना चाहिए. As far as you were talking about Burqa, so, Navika, nobody has a problem with Burqa. Again, as per Article 25 of the Indian Constitution, every individual has the right to practice their religion and wear clothes according to their religion, had it be a ghungat or turban or tilak, sindoor, similarly, hijab or a burqa. So, and the Election Commission has clearly laid down the guidelines. Let me just go through it. Voter identity verification has to be done in a manner that is respectful according to the culture and the religious practices of a voter. And it has categorically said that police personnel, even if they are women, they don't have the right to check the identity of the voters. Only and only polling officers, and that too in the case of women, a woman polling officer has the right to check the identity, and that too with respect and assuring her privacy. So these are things, because Giriraj Singh, the hate monger, who has made several hateful comments, he has said that nobody can stop a police officer from checking a woman. You can remove her burqa and do all sorts of things, he was saying. So this response from Samajwadi Party was in accordance to the guidelines which are laid down by the Election Commission.
All right. No. So that's, that doesn't mean it should be not checked at all. It should be checked by the concerned personnel. But that's not the letter that has been written.
No.
And GVL Narasimha
That's so wrong on your part.
Can I now speak, Faizan Kidwai? Can I now speak? It's my show. I happen to be the anchor. Just coincidentally, I happen to be the anchor. May I speak?
I remember that.
Can I take your permission to do that? Well, thank you.
Ma'am, you don't need my permission. You
GVL Narasimha Rao, please respond to the charges of Faizan Kidwai.
Dekhiye, see, nobody, people wearing a burqa, it is the duty of the presiding officer and those to verify, to ensure the veracity of the person who has come to the polling station. Nobody can impersonate by simply wearing by being clad in a burqa. So what is the objection if somebody demands that burqa should be removed and the identity must be established, then why have this farce at all? The election will become a farce if you don't establish the identity of the voter, number one. Number two, I think there is, during the silence period, there is no bar on party workers meeting in-house. The 48-hour silence is not to influence voters. Please underline the 3 words. Influencing voters is not allowed. Everything else can happen. Democracy doesn't come to a stall for 48 hours before election. Party work doesn't stop. What stops is influencing the voter cannot happen. That is the silence period. And election in charges. Please note this. Election in charges. I have been in some elections. If you are an election in charge for a particular district, in a particular state, in a particular constituency, you will have the permission to stay.
The problem is not with getting the voters verified. The problem is not...
One second. The commission has instructed, under the same SOP 126 People's Representation Act, the commission has further instructed the local administration to check community halls, hotels and other places where people from outside, including party leaders, can be housed, including the verification of lodges, hotels, etc., guest house, to track their occupants. It has also directed setting up
but not and in charges. I'm telling you, there is a difference between...
It is the SOP. Therefore,
you are wrong, Tessie.
Why am I wrong?
No, you are wrong.
All right, that's the subject matter of the FIR, and the Election Commission is investigating it. My question is, Anand Ranganathan.
No.
Explain, Honorable MP. I'm giving you evidence.
I'm scared now.
No, Navika, Congress can release manifesto. Congress can release their manifesto in Jharkhand during silence period, but BJP's national leaders, who also hails from the state, cannot stay in the state. I think what an irony. Congress can break the entire moral code of conduct.
Well, Anand Ranganathan, what do you get from all of this debate that's happening on the eve of the polling in Maharashtra, the last phase of polling in Jharkhand, and also the by-polls in Uttar Pradesh? Who's looking more edgy, more nervous to you? Because this vote jihad, note jihad, batenge, katenge and kaat denge, everything has been going on in this election. Last day, but not the last show certainly. What is all this and what do you make of it?
I think there is nervousness, but it is to do with nervous excitement, Navika, because I think this is an important state going into polls, and I think the verdict would decide one way or the other, at least for the next couple of years, which way the electoral winds will blow, especially after the Lok Sabha elections, which the BJP did not fare as well as it had promised it would. But, Faizan Bhai is a very dear friend, and he knows that. I'm a bit disappointed in, when he talked about communal bigotry and all that. And he's so erudite, so educated. It is unbecoming of him to not even point out the rabid communalism and communal bigotry being shown by two of his candidates in the Maharashtra elections. I mean, has he forgotten that his candidate is crawling at the feet of a man who is a rabid communal bigot, the AIPMB person who's actually threatening Muslims? कि अगर तुम बीजेपी को वोट करोगे तुम्हारा हुक्का पानी बंद कर देंगे. There is the act of condemnation there. And point number 2, is he silent about Abu Azmi meeting a rabid communal bigot who is a radical cleric? तो communalism कौन भड़का रहा है फैजान भाई? मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज़ आप मेरे अजीज दोस्त हैं.
नाविका जी, फिर मुझे टाइम दीजिए. दोस्ती का वास्ता दिया उन्होंने, मुझे बताना पड़ेगा. तो देखिए, ऐसा है कि as far as you're talking about Mr. Abu Azmi meeting Mufti Azmi, right? So the Supreme Court has given bail to him. So आप कहना चाहते हैं Supreme Court ने गलत bail दे दी है. And he is meeting him in his personal capacity to seek blessings, sir. I'm sure, sir, you haven't forgotten the kind of statements that the Prime Minister is making. From भैंस खोल ले जाएंगे तो बेटी चुरा लेंगे, अब he has stooped down to बेटी चुरा लेंगे, पहले मंगलसूत्र चुरा लेंगे. Was that not a communal comment when people say Ramzade, and I don't want to say the other word because it is very unparliamentary to use it on a national television. You remember that? गोली मारेंगे. नहीं तो सर, सारा communal है, सारा communal है. When BJP people will say हिंदुस्तान में रहना है कि मोदी समाजवादी पार्टी कौन सा स्टेटमेंट, प्लीज टेल मी. बता दीजिए एक स्टेटमेंट सर, एक स्टेटमेंट बता दीजिए प्लीज सर. समाजवादी पार्टी का राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष या समाजवादी पार्टी का कोई भी प्रवक्ता या लीडर किसी ने कहीं भी रिलीजियस बिगेटरी की हो, कहीं भी कोई ऐसा कमेंट दिया हो जो संविधान के खिलाफ हो या इंसानियत के खिलाफ हो? एक मुझे बता दीजिए, मैं आपकी बात पे माफी मांगूंगा, बताइए।
फैजान भाई, क्या आप भूल गए वो वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग जहां पे आबू आजमी साहब अभी मिल रहे हैं एक रैबिट कम्युनल बिगट से जो रेडिकल इस्लामिक प्रीचर हैं? क्या आप भूल गए? उन्होंने कहा अगर 6-7 हमें एमएलए सीट्स मिल जाएं तो जिसके मां का दूध पिया उसको याद दिला देंगे अगर उसने मुस्लिम को प्रताड़ित किया। क्या आप भूल गए कि फहाद जो है कैंडिडेट
और वो सब कम्युनल हार्मनी के स्टेटमेंट्स हैं। मठाधीश माफिया होते हैं, ये कम्युनल हार्मनी दिखाता है, मठाधीश माफिया होते हैं, but that's not the point. And when the erudite Faizan Kidwai comes out and says that Supreme Court is wrong in giving bail, Faizan Kidwai, bail is not exoneration, the case is not over. Bail is a bail. May I just tell you that bail does not mean that the charges have vanished, but charges kya hote hain? What are charges in an election? What if somebody wants Ghazwa-e-Hind? That's not communal. What is not allowed is a leader being present in the area where he shouldn't be, because that is the law of the land. What is the problem with sirens? Well, they should not be sirens. Only sirens should be allowed when netas go in a cavalcade, because for the public, no sirens. For conducting orderly polls, no sirens. Burqas should never be checked. Question is this all depicting the fact that there is edginess about how this election is going to turn? Who's edgy? Why are they edgy? Why are the stakes so high? Ke come hail or hell water, the point is everybody wants this victory because they have a point to prove. Well, we'll know it. Nobody can do anything because ये public है, ये सब जानती है, इसने अपना मन बना लिया है. The public will give us their decision. The votes will be polled tomorrow. We'll bring you the exit polls tomorrow, but the results on 23rd, the public will decide. All political parties need to calm down, need to bring down the high-octane rhetoric that has been the hallmark of this phase of elections and campaigning. For now, well, note ho ya vote, jihad band ho, and let's look forward to the result given by the public. We leave it at that. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.